That is my whatever.
All right. Mujisha and our viewers, these are some of the people here in Arua talking about the late Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga. From here, we're going to try and access his residence, where we are told that many people have gathered there, waiting for his body, which we were told yesterday by the Minister for Internal Affairs, Jeje Odong, that it will be flown from Parliament up to his home here for burial, which is expected to take place either on Monday or Tuesday. But we're going to go there and also try to speak to the family members and also the residents and also maybe the long-time friends, the people who started with Abiriga, the people who have grown up with Abiriga, to tell their story about the man who has been loved by this country, who was terminated yesterday by the assailants who are yet to be identified. So, Maurice, that is the mood here in Arua, but we are still here to bring you all the updates and also join the community here as they mourn one of their own, Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga.
Many thanks, Habad Ziwa, coming to us live from Arua in the town center itself. Habad, thank you so much. We will be expecting an update from you as soon as you reach his residence and his home, where, as you mentioned, hundreds are gathered or thousands are gathered at his home. You will be able to share with us those pictures. Thank you, Habad. I will now just give you a couple of updates if you're just joining us. Those were live pictures from Arua. Habad Ziwa, who arrived in Arua about an hour and a half ago, giving us an update in the city center, where it's a somber mood. As you witnessed, one of his constituents, crying on camera, live on camera, while sharing his, story about his member of parliament. You remember the Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga is the member of parliament for Arua municipality, and that is his constituency. Those are his constituents, and they were sharing their story about him and what they know about him. It's really a somber day in Uganda, a somber day for the people in Arua and their his constituency and the greater Uganda. The Speaker of Parliament yesterday sharing or tweeting and releasing a statement saying that she had learned with shock the shooting and death of the Arua Municipality Member of Parliament, and sends her condolences to the family, the people of Arua, the country at large, and she urged the security agencies to start investigations immediately. We also know that this morning the Clerk to Parliament has issued a statement informing members of Parliament that there will be a special sitting on Sunday the 10th of June 2018 at 9 a.m. to pay tribute to the late Arua Municipality MP Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga. The body of the late will be brought to the House at 9 a.m. We will bring you live pictures of tomorrow's session in Parliament. We'll also bring you live pictures of the burial on Monday from Arua, where Habad Ziwa and the team is. Now, a short while ago, a couple of days ago, the Honorable Abiriga graduated with his diploma, and again he granted us an opportunity for an exclusive interview about his degree or his diploma and why he had actually gone to school after several sentiments had been shared about him and his qualification in the run-up to the election in 2016. Take a look at what he had to say about his diploma.
If you really bring your intention to go to school, you will study like other people. Because some people thought to go to school will defeat everyone or defeat Abiriga, but they have already got the diploma with me here. The reason why I went to school or back to pursue diploma certificate is because the diploma of UCU, these people are not certified with it. I said, okay, if you're not certified, let me do another one. Then this is the one which I've completed. They think school is something which is from heaven. No. It is here in the world, on earth here. a human being like you teaches you or lectures you, it's not a special thing. Does a minister really requires a diploma, degree, or what? Me, I thought to be a minister, anytime if you're appointed, you just go and work. These papers are not needed in the ministry. Because I went to RDC, people said I was not educated. But he became the #1 RDC in the country, #1. If I get that degree around Feb or August, I don't want to go back to school. I will be concentrating on reading Quran only, because it is paving way to go to paradise. Me, I didn't count me that I have not gone to school. I counted myself with those who have PhD. Because in the army, I undergo many trainings. If I put them down, you will get shocked. You will say this man was in the army, not doing army work, he was just only for courses. I am a PhD holder, if you don't know. You go tomorrow, say Abiriga has not gone to school. Were you with Abiriga? Did you know when Abiriga was born? That is madness, complete madness. This is the transcript, original one. It is here. This is the certificate, completely original. So therefore, anyone who will say he'll go to court, the other day they went to court, they failed on the way. They dropped on the way. The other day I told you, Jonas, I said, if I was to be a minister, the campaign, the election of 2011, 2012, that is the time when Muse was going to appoint me minister. Without even delaying, without even wasting time. What I did in West Nile, it was enough to say, just talk to you a useless thing of minister. Not me. Mine is Uganda. If you say, please, what should we do to Uganda? I will be your friend. Not the minister. Other people are fighting me because of minister. You are fighting because of minister. What is minister? So the Abiriga was not going to school. They will see me with gown and love, which is I wanted the thing to be yellow, but they put here what maroon, I don't know. I wanted the thing to be, even the gown itself black, I wanted it to be yellow. Tenere moye, Museveni oye, Abiriga oye, Uganda oye. Thank you very much. Not enough. This is how diploma people.
A very jovial, a very interesting, very funny, always smiling, Ibrahim Abiriga. You could call him anything, and he would still smile about it. To describe for you the kind of person he was, when we visited his home yesterday and the scene of crime, every single person there had nothing negative to say about him, not necessarily because he had passed on, but because there was nothing they could say. He was the kind of person, they say, who always found a way of stopping around the trading center towards his home. For every stop there was at the trading center, he got out of his car most of the time to greet the children. He loved children, everyone knows that. The children always run to him. Every time they saw his yellow VW Beetle, they ran to the vehicle, chanting his name, and every time they did that, he stopped, he waved the party thumb, he got out of his car most of the time, gave the children money, walked to the residents in the area, was kind enough to greet every single resident in that area. If he had time, he actually spent quite some time in that area. One of the stops he had at that trading center particular trading center, just before his home, there was a bar where he always found revelers in that bar and would leave them some money and then move on to the next shop. He was loved by everyone, and maybe just again to define for you what sort of person he was. Here at Parliament, because we're just a couple of meters away from Parliament, there is a border stage between Parliament and NTV, and that border stage was a regular pass or passage for him when he was coming to the Kampala Serena Hotel, or sometimes I'm told whenever he wanted to go to Kampala or the city center to do one or two things, he took one or two borders. In fact, this morning, one of the border riders who was helping us move a couple of things here at NTV said he occasionally left them money at the stage. He would ask them, "Chirichitia, batabani bange, muri Burunji," and then they would say, "We're, Tatuli Burunji, we are not okay," and he always left them some money. And it wasn't just 10,000, 20,000. I'm told he was the kind of person who would leave them 100,000 and say, "Please go buy some sugar, go buy some milk for your people." The particular border person I'm talking about did give him a ride very recently, and he was meant to go at a very short distance. The Honorable gave him 100,000 and said, "Here's some money for your family." That's the kind of person he was. He didn't discriminate. He loved everyone he came across. For every single interview we requested for as NTV, he granted. He was very honest about the things he did, and what happened in the past, and I don't want to go there, but he was very honest. He went to court, pleaded guilty, and was charged and paid for his crime. But that is who he was. He was black and white, as he was. Joining me now in studio is Moses Obwalatum. Moses Obwalatum is from the Communications Department of Parliament. Moses, a very sad day for Parliament. I probably would want to know, how did Parliament find out, and how did you get to confirm his death?
It was with shock that Parliament got to learn of the shooting of Honorable Abiriga by assailants whom police is yet to confirm or to even know who did that. We learned about this at around 6 p.m. yesterday, and like I said, social media was rife with all that information, and we went forward, confirmed with the police, and that is how we got to know that the MP had been passed on.
Yes. Yesterday at the scene of crime, a couple of MPs rushed to the scene, visited his home. I know for a fact that one of the commissioners, Elijah Cooper, and I think Honorable Tinkasimire and several others spoke to us at his home. You want to run us through what Parliament has agreed, what happens from now and until he's ready to rest?
Thank you, Maurice. Right now, the body of the late Abiriga is in Mulago Hospital for a post-mortem or autopsy, and thereafter, around the afternoon, probably 2, his body will be taken to the A+ funeral home. And as you've shared earlier, there will be a sitting of Parliament for MPs to pay tribute to the fallen MP at 9 a.m. tomorrow, Sunday. But just before that, on Sunday at 7 a.m., the body will be taken to Gaddafi National Mosque for the Muslim community in Uganda to also pay their respects to him. And after the MPs have paid their respects on Sunday, the body will be airlifted to Arua for the community there to also pay their respects. And he will be laid to rest Monday at Rhino Camp.
If you could share with us briefly about the decision not to lay him to rest today, being a Muslim. How was this arrived at? Is there a conversation that has been had with family and the Muslim community?
Yeah, you notice with the Muslim community, they normally do not take several days when a member passes on. So it being a very typical, a VIP person, a member of Parliament, it was a delicate discussion that was held between the family and the Muslim community to request to have that kind of courtesy that extended to him, such that Ugandans pay their respects to the MP they loved so dearly.
All right. So let's run through what will happen at Parliament. And many usually are used to the body lies in state for a couple of hours, most of the time the entire morning session, and then there is a special sitting in the afternoon. But this is different. This is quite a special sitting on a Sunday, which probably we've never had again in this country. So you have a special sitting on a Sunday, and it will be at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yes. Just run us through what happens at 9 a.m.
So, like I said earlier, at 7 a.m., the body will be at the mosque, where the Muslim community will pay their respects. Yes. And then at 9 a.m., that is when we expect the body to be at Parliament. And we would not, again, because of the interest of time, we are not able to have the public come in and pay their respects. Because ordinarily, we would have the public pay their respects in the morning, and then in the afternoon, legislators pay their respects when the body has been taken into the chamber. So this is unique in the sense that we will only have the body viewed by members of the public who will be there in the morning, and then the body is taken into the chamber for MPs to pay their respects, because at 2 p.m. the body will be leaving for Arua.
All right. Yeah. Just hold on with me. I'll come back to you very shortly for more details. We've just received a police statement shared by the police spokesperson, and I want to read for you this statement. Murder by shooting of the Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga, the MP Arua Municipality. It says last evening, June 8th, 2018, at around 18:45, that is 6:45 p.m. The Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga, Arua Municipality Member of Parliament, was assassinated by yet to be identified criminals. The incident happened a few meters from his residence in Kirinyabigo, Kawanda, or Kiso district. The late was shot dead together with one person who has been identified by family members as Said Kongo, 48 years old, who, according to the family account, is his brother and follower. Both victims of this gruesome murder were in the MP's known yellow Beetle vintage car, registration number UBB 107D. The police intervened immediately, cordoned off the scene of crime, and are pursuing the killers. Our technical officers are on ground examining every detail to help in investigations. We are yet to establish whether the Honorable MP and identified person Said Kongo had weapons with them. Bodies of the deceased have been taken to Mulago National Referral Hospital for post-mortem examination. A couple of cartridges for an SMG assault rifle, popularly known as the AK-47, has been recovered or have been recovered and at the scene of crime. Now, the Uganda Police Force, together with sister security agencies, have their boots on ground and promise to hunt down these heartless criminals with the aim of bringing them to account for the crimes they have committed. We appeal for calm and vigilance as we continue to work together to catch the criminals and prosecute them in courts of law. We encourage continued vigilance, sharing of information with security and neighborhoods to avert crime and enable quick response in case crimes take place. Signed off, SSP Emilian Kaima, who is the police spokesperson. A statement just into NTV by the Uganda Police. You can go onto our Twitter page at NTV Uganda. You should be able to find that statement released by the police a short while ago, confirming the death of the Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga, stating a time. Well, 6:45. We probably may not have the exact time, but we know that as early as about 6. The shooting could have happened as early as 6 a.m., even with the witnesses we've talked to. So that, I guess, is a detail that will be clarified in the coming days or the coming hours. All right. So I wanted to let Moses go because we're also running out of time. We must conclude our update this morning and then come back to you later. Moses, so other than the special sitting at 9 and the body is flown to Arua, is Parliament in charge of this entire process? As mentioned initially, because Parliament had said whenever each member of Parliament passes away, they take charge of the burial arrangements.
Thank you so much, Maurice. As is the norm, when a member of Parliament passes on, Parliament meets the full cost of funeral management from the time the body is taken to a hospital, the postmortem, transport, including feeding. So Parliament meets the full cost of all the expenses involved in the burial ceremony. Maurice, I would like to pass on the Speaker's
Yes.
message.
Yes, please.
The Speaker of Parliament and the parliamentary community conveys its deep-felt condolences to the family of Honorable Abiriga and prays that Allah grants him eternal rest.
All right. Thank you very much, Moses. Thank you so much. Moses Obwalatum is from the Communications Department of Parliament. He joins us this morning with a quick update on what will be happening in the next few hours. So there will be prayers at 7 a.m. tomorrow at Gaddafi Mosque. There will also be a special sitting at 9 a.m. for Parliament. Let's run through this very special profile of the late Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga as we conclude this conversation this morning. The Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga was shot dead as he approached his home yesterday. So Ibrahim Abiriga was born in 1956 in what was then called West Nile District. In 1971, Abiriga joined the Uganda Army. After the overthrow of Idi Amin in 1979, Abiriga fled to Congo and Sudan. In exile, he was part of the rebel group Uganda National Rescue Front. We'll move to the next page of this profile. If you're just joining us, a quick profile of the Honorable Abiriga. In 1986, UNRF joined Museveni's NRA and were mostly formed into the NRA's 73rd Battalion. Abiriga rose to become the 2nd Division Administration Officer, that's a DAO. He retired from active military service in 1990. In 2001, President Museveni appointed Abiriga as Resident District Commissioner, RDC, of Arua District. In 2014, he was transferred to Yumbe as RDC, and in 2016, Abiriga was elected Arua Municipality Member of Parliament amidst a lot of acrimony about his qualifications, which he has spoken about. And on June 8th, 2018, Ibrahim Abiriga was gunned down near his home in Kawanda, Wakiso District, and may his soul rest in peace. We want to conclude today's update. We will be back at exactly 1 p.m. With a full update, live update from Arua. My colleague Habad Ziwa is there, and he'll be giving us an update on the mood at his home, where a lot of people are gathered at his home. We also have, of course, our team at the scene of crime. They will be giving us an update. We know President Museveni was at the scene of crime this morning. We also know that the Deputy IGP, Muzei Sabiti, was also at the scene of crime. Let me quickly give you an update from the members of parliament who were at his home last night. Let's listen.
On the day of the State of the Nation address, that I was chatting with the late. I can't believe that I am calling him the late now. And we're talking, when the president talked about the situation that we are getting these people are dealing, and I was saying, no, we are going to deal with these people. Little did we know who was next on the line. It's unfortunate they are not, and we tell our sympathies to the family and the people of Arua municipality and West Nile, as well as this country. If there's another person who loved his party, it was Honorable Abiriga. And you all know he had his whole heart there.
It goes without saying that Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga has been a member of my party. Many of us are devastated. Many of the NRM members, of course, are here. Honorable Tinka Simile is here, and the others are in Kakumiro. But we stand with the family. We stand with Parliament. And as NRM, there will be an official statement from the party leadership. But I stand here on behalf of the women of NRM. And we mourn our colleague, we mourn our elder, we also mourn our friend. And that's why I am here.
If they were targeting NRM, maybe by targeting a man who expresses it every day, maybe they are mistaken. Because even us who don't carry the yellow every day, we love our party. And we are going to miss Honorable Abiriga so much, but we will carry the banner. We are not about to degenerate into this situation of where killings, brutal killings, will be the order of solving problems.
It's very absurd to us as the Parliament. It's very absurd, particularly to our party, the NRM party, which is the ruling party, because Honorable Abiriga has been so passionate about NRM. He has left a legacy to the party. He has done his part. He has fought his battle. And it's very sad to us that he has gone at this critical moment when we actually needed him more.
Right, reactions from members of parliament and a member of the NRM party, Lydia Onyoto. You had Kahonda, you had Tinka Simire, and Elijah Cooper, a commissioner of parliament, all sharing deep sorrow and sharing the pain parliament must be facing right now. A year after the shooting of the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Andrew Felix Kawesi, little did they know that one of their own, Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga, would be next. And as Elijah Cooper said, he was excited about the president's statement on dealing with matters security and having to bring to book the killers of Susan Magara and Andrew Felix Kawesi and many other women who've been murdered and children kidnapped and murdered. And many were looking forward to that engagement. But I'm told just before I leave, let's get Habad Ziwa. Habad Ziwa has just arrived. All right, so we are trying to get him because we know he's at the home. He's at the home of the Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga. But just as we shared a short while ago, let me quickly bring you up to date on what we've learned in the last few hours. President Yoweri Museveni visited the crime scene this morning. He also visited the home of the Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga, where he spoke, I'm told, in Swahili to members of the family who are at home, and shared, of course, the conversation he had already on social media, that government will do all it can in its powers to bring to book those who are responsible for this crime, the shooting down of the Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga and his bodyguard, Congo Buga Saidi. We also know that the Deputy IGP, Zay Sabiti, was at the scene of crime this morning. We are also aware that when the president was at the scene of crime, he was with the Kampala Metropolitan Police Commander, Moses Kafero, who then took him through investigations as are underway. We also know that the body of both the Honorable Abiriga and his bodyguard are now at Mulago Hospital, where a post-mortem could have been carried out last night, and several other tests or investigations by the forensic police team carried out at the scene. In the mortuary where that post-mortem is being carried out. As Parliament has shared with us, the body will be handed over to the funeral services this afternoon forward for management ahead of tomorrow's prayers at 7 a.m. at Gaddafi Mosque, and on to, of course, the Parliament for the special sitting at 9 a.m. We will bring you continuous live updates of what's happening, including tomorrow's prayers at Gaddafi Mosque and the special sitting at Parliament. Our teams are working on that. Let's bring you these pictures. Just take a look at this.
Vaio. Omundi ku speed. Tekayo olukale. Yongera light. That to go that side. Press. That to keep moving. That to move under the other tree. Okay. Yeah. You keep moving in front. Ziwa, tekayo. Ziwa. Ziwa, tekayo. Tekayo. Kuba direct okubye bali.
Ebifaananyi mubirina ebifaananyi byonna oliwa alina kusimera kata okuliko ki tabi aweda recordinga ate yali recordinze kukinawe yaguddewo dda katandaza operation yawo mugitutekere eri so strict egwe giveeko otubadde wali wala kati wano tuli walungi
Kwanja kundiba ofuna mukisa okwewangulira ebirabo buli wiiki ng'ogulako byenyanda ku Mande n'Olwokuna okutangaza emikisa gy'okuwangula okuva ku ssente amasimu zitishati n'ebirala nkuyanja
era nga kyangu nnyo okuwangula teeba omupiira omutuufu eguli mu kabokisi sala akapapula ako okaweze ku ofiisi za monita ennamuwongo olwo ate gwali ewala kawera gye ntiwaffe mu kitundu kyo obaka kuba ekifaananyi okaweze ku whatsapp namba noti 777693 awo olindirira akalulu okkuwa
abawanguzi bonna bajja kukubirwa amasimu okuva mu lupapula lw'ennyanda okusobola okufuna ebirabo byammwe gy'okoma okujuza obupapula obungi obw'ennyanda n'emikisa gye gy'okuwangula gye gikoma okweyongera byonna biwagiddwa olupapula olw'ebyemizannyo ennyanda ne Betini Uganda enkola n'obutakulizo bigobererwa.